What is up there, SEO Pro? Alright guys, so today we're here with Travis and Ruben. You can see him, he's over here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing them how to do schema, and then at the same time showing you how to do schema. So I did a basic course a while ago. I'm just going to give you guys a quick refresher. So there's different things you can mark up, and right now I guess we'll just focus on local. So theoretically you can pretty much mark up every page. So if we go here, you can see I have the blog marked up, the reviews marked up, the contact page marked up, the about page marked up. And what that means is that I'm showing to Google that these pages are all like what those pages are about, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing that I do for sites with WordPress, and if you don't have WordPress, you can do this in other ways as well, but I'm going to show you WordPress first since most of you have WordPress. So we're going to log in. And I'm going to put these links in the description, or just the names of these in the description. But first thing you're probably going to want to do is go to plugins, add new, and grab one plugin called JSON LD schema. In the way you'll know what this is, it has a little mustache on it. So I'll just grab that and put it in Notepad so we don't forget. And the next one you're probably going to want to grab is the SSO plugin. Actually, yes. So the SSO plugin will mark up other elements of your page, like your images and whatnot. So for that is just WP SSO. And then you'd get not the one for schema, just get the one for OG data. So it should say social right here. So you're going to get that one. Don't get this one. You don't need it. So you grab this one. I'll grab this as a note too. What's up, Shane? So we'll just put a 1. You guys can't see this, it's on the other screen, but I'm putting these in to remember. So for the first one, if you go into schema.org settings, and your website might already have schema based off your theme. So if we go to like Chase Reiner, and this landing page has actually been replaced. So let me just go to another landing page because I'm using ClickFunnels right now, which we may have to do a tutorial on in the future. So we'll go to Chase Reiner, and then we'll just do like we'll just do like anything. Like we'll go to the contact page. So the way you can test your structured data or schema data is that you can grab this URL, and if you have Mozbar, you can just click on Mozbar and then go to here and then go to markup and then just click on the structured data testing tool here. If you don't have Mozbar, you can just Google structured data testing tool and then click on it. What's up, Ralph? Dude, we're killing it for your site right now, man. You should see the analytics. So you can see for some reason we have uncategorized errors. This is probably because of there's a end close tag missing for the contact markup. I don't know why that happened, but you can actually troubleshoot by going into this page. I'll zoom in so you guys can see this. So if I go into here, you can see this is where the problem is for this. And then it's saying right here it's missing end whatever symbol that is. And then we can just figure out where that ends. So let's see if we can find it. So I'm assuming it's probably like right there. And then you can just press validate. Still the same thing. The other thing you can do is if you just want to take this snippet of code, you can copy it like this. So we'll just copy like this. Grab it. So we copied it. And then do new test, and then just do code snippet. So you can just do snippets of code if you want. Makes it easier to troubleshoot. So now it's same thing. We're still missing the end tag. We can see right here. So let's see if we can troubleshoot this. So maybe it's right there. Either way, this is how you see the data. We can troubleshoot this later because I don't want to spend too much time trying to figure this out exactly. For the contact markup, I think I pulled this from SEO Profiler. So let me go in here. I believe that's where this is from. So if we log into here, and if you don't have SEO Profiler, it's a pretty good tool to have. This is one of the few tools that I actually recommend people pay for. So we'll log in. Actually, let me see. We've been changing all the passwords, so I don't remember if this is... Actually, I think it's this. Rob's getting lots of work. That's great. All right, so you can go into here. I believe it's page optimization, rich snippet creator. And then you can choose the type of markup. So you can do local business, person, product. And I actually don't see the about markup. I think what I was doing is I pulled it from somewhere and then I was just using it from one site to the other. So if you guys want to, you can just use the this page as an example. You can just pull the same text. But really how I do this is I go into the actual, so I grab the JSON LD and I'll plug it into the headers. And what I use for that, I forgot to tell you, there's one more plugin you're going to want to get. It's called OH scripts. And that's how you can put code into your headers with on a page-by-page basis instead of doing it site-wide. So we're going to add new. And Travis is like, what the hell are they talking about? Basically, Travis, this is like when you get into more advanced stuff. So if this sounds really confusing to you, don't worry about it. Oh, oops, OH. Might be one word. Whoops. I have it in my plugins. Let me see if I can just find it.
What's up?
Sogo. So I guess maybe they changed their name or something.
Yeah, they did.
We gotta update these. Okay, so put that in there. I just put that as a note. Cool. So you grab that, and now what you do, assuming that we fix this page, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in here. We just have to figure out where one of them starts and it doesn't close. And then we would just grab that, and then we would take it. We would go to our contact page. So here's the contact page. Press edit page.
You just copy and paste it. Yeah.
Oh, you can put JSON validator.
JSON, yeah, JS.
That's basically the same thing as a structured data testing tool, though, I think.
Yeah, but I think it can point the line item.
Oh, it would? Okay, what's it called? JSON lint? See if this will figure it out for us. All right. Oh, I wonder why it says Facebook app ID. Pretty odd. Oh, this is probably it right here. Very strange. I have to do some troubleshooting on this. Oh, it's all good. Either way, what you do once you get the script, I'm pretty sure what I did is I just pulled this off of something off Google. I was just like contact page markup generator or something. I pulled it off some site. I have to remember which site it is. But either way, you take that and then you just plug it into here, and you would then just put the oh, this is it right here. You would just put this in here, and it would just pull into the header, and then you would have your contact page marked up. So same thing for the other pages. The about page, you can mark up all those pages, except instead of it saying contact page, it would be type about page, and then you would just have that markup in here, and it would say contact or about. So if we go back to that page, so we go back to the about page. So we'll go back to choose render, about. Right, where did it go? Go into here. Let me grab that. What's up, Craig? Go back into here, do new test, just put the URL back in. So you can see the image object is marked up, and that's what gets pulled from the from that other app I was showing you, the SSO Pro. So I'll show you how to set that up in a second. But basically, it just marks up all of the pages, and I think it also marks up videos on the website. And the reason why that's cool is because Google can then see, I mean, they already know that this is an image, but if you mark it up with schema too, it just kind of adds extra value. Let's go back. And it looks like it's just taking this image. It should be taking the other images. I'm not sure why it's not. And then the creative work, this is built into the Genesis framework, which is why I leaned towards getting that framework over other themes, because it marks up a lot of your main pages for you. Oh, what the heck? The about page is working now. That's so weird. See that?
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Okay, well, the about page is working now. I don't know why. Oh no, because the other one was a contact page. This is the about page, so the about page is working. But as you can see, it's a similar type of markup, except it just says about page. And it's good to mark these different things up so you can show Google, okay, this is the about page, this is the contact page. And the reason why that's important is because Google actually looks and sees if these certain pages are on your website. They want to see like basic pages on your website, because it shows that your site is showing the things that people want to be able to find. Cool, so let's go into the schema settings. So this is more of the site-wide settings. And like I said, some of these you're going to want to turn on for certain sites, and some of them you're going to want to turn off, depending on what you already have on your site in terms of schema. So if you go to like the home page and there's you know, already certain types of schema, you're not going to need to put like organization or local business. Also, if you're manually putting this stuff in, you would want to turn this off. So I'll show you. So we got article markup. I usually don't use that. I use blog posting. I don't really think that there's too much of a difference. I think there's, in a certain industry, you'd want to use article markup over blog posting, but in most cases, I always use blog posting. Unless it's a news article, then you would use news article markup. And what this does is if you press edit, it'll automatically put this into your blog posts. So you can see enabled output on posts. You don't want to put blog markup on pages because your pages usually aren't blog article or blog posts. And then this is where you would put your name of the organization, and then your publisher logo, which it has to be a certain width. And you can see I think I'm getting an error right now. This site still, like I said, is not doing that great in terms of the things that need to be set up. So so if we grab this URL, we bring it into here like this. You'll see we got the blog posting, and I guess the logo is working fine. Even it says width 0, height 0. That should definitely give us a problem here, I believe. But maybe this image is pulling first. Who knows? Either way, you can see that the blog posting markup looks pretty decent, and so Google's pulling that and being like, okay, this is showing us a blog post, and here's the schema to prove it. And then all these other things which are pretty cool, like the creative work, the WP sidebar. So I have a sidebar. And then the image object, these two right here are being pulled from the Genesis framework. So this whole page, it looks pretty well marked up. And then you can see it all through here. So the other thing you'll see is website is being pulled as a markup. You can actually specify that in this tool. So if we go back into, let's go back into here. You can see you can put website markup and what pages you want to have website markup on. So blog posting, we already have it set up, so that's good. You can put breadcrumbs. Now, like I said, some of the themes already have breadcrumbs in here, so you might not want to put them in there. This should honestly have breadcrumbs in here, so I don't know why this isn't enabled. So let me edit that. We'll do enabled. You don't want to display on home page because it doesn't really make sense. You wouldn't have breadcrumbs on a home page. And if you guys don't know what breadcrumbs are, it's basically like what people can see on the site as they navigate through your website. And search engines look at that as well. So we'll go back into here and see if we can pull it now. We might need to empty the cache. So I don't see it yet. Let me see. Let me empty this. There they are. So that's good. We want that, right? So as I said before, Google looks at this and they determine where people are at in the site based off the other pages. So if we go into like SEO Tips 2017, sometimes you'll see these little arrows in the search results. So right now you don't see it. Right there, you see it. So basically what that is that's breadcrumb. So if you want these arrows to kind of determine where people are at in the different stages, you would put breadcrumb markup on your website. I'm hoping that this is going to prove my point true when we go and plug this into the tool. Let me see. There it is. Cool. So that's what breadcrumbs do. And then you can see they're using news articles because they're a news site and they want to rank. The reason why you use news markup is so that you can rank in the news algorithm. If you guys don't know what the news algorithm is, it's basically what Google picks up as what is news. So if we go SEO tips 2017, news, and you do news markup, I don't know why this isn't showing, but usually there is a news section. And then if you actually click on news, you can see this is what the news section looks like. So in the news markup, you'd actually specify the image, and that's what they would pull from, or that you would hope that they'd pull from. So that's how you can customize your articles with news markup. So we'll go back to the plugin again. So we also have event markup. This is really cool. So you can actually get event pages on your website. I think it's somewhere in the settings. I don't know. Maybe you have to... I don't know where it is, but you can definitely get event pages going, and this would mark this up. So you can say when an event is, and this is really good for like real estate types of websites or any website that's local. Really, you want to start doing events because you can send Google's signals to Google saying, hey, this is a local event. This is a local business, right? So if we do, you know, Santa Barbara homes for sale or open houses. So we got the... what is this? This is the knowledge graph, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at this right here. So underneath here, these are all different open houses, and the way you get that is by doing event markup. Same thing if you do like concerts. Here you can see, you can specify the event, the name of the concert, and there's different types. I believe you can do. You can drill down to what the actual type of event is. This is in the more advanced schema markup. So if you go into event here, we haven't covered this yet, but I'm just showing you. You can actually specify whether it's a concert, whether it's a, hold on, whether it's an open, whether it's real estate, whatever type of event. So you can really become hyper specific with this stuff. See if I can go in here and show you. So location, event properties, so on and so on. See under event, reservation, venue, sub event. So you can get really specific with this stuff, and this actually pulls from the whole schema library. We won't get into this yet, but it's pretty cool what you can do. So that's event. You can do all your basic stuff here on this. The next we have local business. So this is if you want to put local business markup on your homepage. Now this is if you just want basic local markup. So you can put your geo radius, your street address, all this stuff, and it shows you what's required and what's extra. So you can put your hours in here, which is great. You'll see a lot of different types of local business markup. Some people don't use all of the different things you can use in local business markup, which, like I said, the geo radius and the longitude latitude stuff and the hours is going to definitely add extra value. And a lot of people miss out on this price range aspect too. So you can see you can get street address, all that stuff, and then you can choose if you wanted to put out on all pages. I would not recommend that. I would just put it on the page that the local business is on. So you can just do home page. And the next thing is if you want to become even more specific with your schema, you can actually choose certain types of schema with this tool. So like I said, this is the more advanced tool if you wanted to go in and actually go and say, okay, this is a chiropractor business or this is a dentist or whatever. This just pulls basic local schema. Oh, actually, here we go. Cool. So this actually now has a new capability. I didn't even see this before. I don't know if it has everything, but you can see you can put like attorney. And then, but I think with that markup, actually, there is extra things you can put with this app specific to attorneys that you wouldn't be able to in this one. So I already have schema markup pulled for mine, I believe, on my homepage. And it's not local business. I'll show you what I have. So if you're not a local business, you'd want to use organization markup. We'll cover that in a second. Well, actually, we already covered news articles, so we can look at it if you want. So we go into here. we can see, you know, basic thing, basically the same as the article markup. It pulls everything else for you. And then the organization. So organization is if your homepage is not a local business and you want to show that you have an organization, you want to, you can also put in the organization all of the different social profiles that your profile is connected to, or that you represent as your business. So some people will use organization markup on the homepage and then use local business markup on the subpages and rank subpages for those local areas. Might be a good idea in some cases, especially if you have multiple locations. So for this, all you have to do is just put in your, you can put your contact point. You don't have to put this, but if you do, you put your phone number. The weird thing about Schema is that you have to put a plus beforehand and then the phone number. You can say whether it's customer service, technical support, that kind of thing. Put your email if you want, and then that's pretty much it. And then I would just put that on the home page or whatever page you're trying to put, you know, have it show up for organization markup. The next thing is person markup. So this is if you want to do like a like an about page or something, you can put person markup on that page. I don't know why you would put this on every page. If you take somebody like Bill Slawski, who's probably one of the best SEOs in North America, I don't even know. He's really good. But if you look at the stuff he marks up, you'll see I think he marks up his blog post with person markup. I'm not sure. Let me check. He might even mark up his homepage. I think I've asked him about this too. And Bill Slawski actually knows a good amount about schema and structured data and how Google's actually able to recognize this stuff. You'll see he has a lot of stuff. So he has person, place, markup. He has, I think he even has like zip code, crazy stuff. His postal address. The person markup, you can see, I guess he's using that on the home page. I probably wouldn't use that on every page, and I don't think he is. Let me go into like one of his, like his FAQ page. And also you can see he's also using the Genesis framework, which is pulling that creative work and that other stuff I was telling you guys about. So I guess he's using it on every page. I don't know why he would do that, and I don't know if that's a good idea. But I would say it might be a good idea to put on your blog posting pages, even though I think your the problem is that with a lot of stuff, this stuff, it kind of starts to overlap. So if you're like, if you're doing like person markup and you're also using blog post markup, which he's not using blog post markup or article markup, which is odd. Generally what you want to do is not use person markup and posting markup, because what ends up happening is they overlap, because the blog post markup actually says information about the author. So I'd probably just maybe put this on about pages. I don't know. This is one of those weird ones where I'd probably have to get a little bit more information about it. But I think you're safe putting that on like probably blog posts. I don't know. I don't even use it. So site navigation, you can see you can turn this on if you want to mark up your navigation elements, so like your menus. I think the Genesis framework already pulls this information. So let me go in here. We've been going for about, what, 23 minutes, Steven? You can rewatch this if you want to, though. So where'd that structured data testing tool go? Did I cancel out of it? What was I doing? I don't remember.
You look at the markup, dude.
Yeah, I was looking at, oh yeah, the site navigation. Hold on, let me go back. So we'll pull that about page or this page. So we go in here. I don't see the navigation marked up, I don't believe. So let me see if we can change that. This might have been one of the ones that wasn't working correctly or something. Let me go in here, we'll empty the cache, and then rerun this. Should shave eventually. And there it is. So now we have the site navigation. And it shows all the different parts of that navigation. So this is what that is, that's what that is, and then it'll show you what those actually are. So Google can easily read your site navigation, which I don't know why I had that turned off, but I think a lot of this stuff actually got turned off when people were trying to customize my website which, as you can tell, didn't end up very well. I'm probably gonna just end up learning web design because it's so complicated trying to find somebody who's reliable with web design. I'm probably just gonna stop doing SEO and then just learn web design just so I can get my website done. So the next one is video. So this is if you have a video post page, which if you guys don't know, you can actually have a video post page similar to YouTube and rank those videos organically. And this will mark that up for that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about in terms of schema that you can do. So that's what that video post page is. I don't really know how it works too often. I think I would rather do like a content breakdown with a video included. We can actually look at it. I've never actually used this. I just know it works. So video name, video description, and then I guess you would just put, I don't know, it might be something to experiment with. Sounds pretty interesting, but could be one of those underutilized strategies that nobody's using, like OG data.
Yeah, sure.
The next one is website markup, which this is pretty much just telling Google that this is a website, which is pretty ridiculous. But I think it's already on all pages, so I just put it on posts for the other ones. And I actually don't know if that's necessary since they're blog posts. I don't know. I just put it in there. I don't see why not. So that's pretty much it for this one. A lot of it's pretty plug and play. You just literally just turn it on if it's not in there, pretty much. You just want to make sure you're not doing like duplicate things like article and blog. But you're pretty much safe to put on breadcrumbs, events, local business for a homepage if it's a local business, all this stuff. And like I said, it's pretty much just plug and play. And then you can just go in here and see which ones are here and which ones are not. The one thing you want to make sure of is that you're not pulling duplicate things. So you don't want to have two website markups. Sometimes you'll click in here and you'll see people have two. Or they'll go into here and they'll have like 3 creative works. The reason why you don't want duplicate of that is because that's extra, 1, that's extra code and Google has to read it twice. 2, that looks like duplicate content. And 3, it's like, what's the point of having duplicate content? It's just annoying. So you should have it look pretty clean, hopefully. So the next thing is the SSO Pro, which marks up that other stuff I was telling you about, like the images and whatnot. So this plugin's pretty easy to set up. You just fill in your basic information on the essential settings. You just put your default article topic, all that good stuff. And then if you want to include certain elements like the organization's social profile, the personal social profile. Even though I have this stuff in here, I don't think it's actually pulling for the blog posts because I'm using something else. Actually, wait, hold on. Did I have blog posts enabled on here? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. So I think I actually disabled it. So you can go to the advanced settings of this, which will override the essential settings. And I think I disabled it because I was pulling multiple blog post markup, which is what it did. And I found that this one's probably a little bit more convenient than the other one. So if you want, you can just, use the basic options. Otherwise, you can go in here, start customizing things. So if you want to get the all options, I think you can just press all options and then press save. And I'm pretty sure it'll show you in here, advanced. More specifically, things that you can start checking off. So like if you want to include author markup, if you want to include all this other stuff that you can put in OG data, this gets pretty crazy. But a lot of this stuff doesn't actually get pulled unless you're doing certain types of articles. One of the things that I do make sure to take off is canonicals and meta descriptions because Yoast obviously already pulls that stuff. And like I said, a lot of this stuff for the Open Graph, this is all related to Open Graph. This isn't related to Schema. So if you're looking at this and you're like, I don't know all of this for Schema, you don't have to because this is all of this for OG data. And what that means is that there's OG data and there's Schema Markup. And Schema Markup is what you're seeing here. So this is all this stuff. This has nothing to do with OG data. OG data is what gets pulled into social platforms. So if we were to go into here, and we were to go to the Moz bar and look at the next section of the markup right here, you can see there's also Open Graph Protocol. So if we click on that, click on here, now you can see what's being pulled with the same stuff we were looking at. So you see all that stuff? Mm-hmm. That's the same as what we were looking at right here.
Got it.
So this is all this right here. And this pretty much, you don't have to really touch this stuff. This stuff you don't really have to touch. And And you can see this is all different things. So if you're like doing a song, you can change it to like music OG data. You can change it to all this other stuff, but we're not doing that here. So I just leave most of this the same, except I make sure that this is off and this is off. And I think it comes off as default if you're already using Yoast. So yeah, a lot of this stuff in terms of schema, I think right here, I think this pulls for like images and certain other things. So you'll see it's automatically marking up images. And then you can see on the side what we're actually using, what we're not. So you'll see Google Website Markup we're not using because we're already using it from the other plugin. So I wouldn't spend a lot of time looking at this stuff. Just know once you activate it, it's pretty much good to go. So it's not like the other one where you have to set up all this crazy stuff. It is really customizable, but once you install it, and I use the advanced version, it's like $50. You're pretty much just good to go, and this is the only thing that you're going to want to look at. So if we go into here, and we go to Edit Post. So just remember what I said on the SSO Pro, or sorry, Schema Settings. You want to set this up. The SSO Pro, you don't really have to do much except just go to the first page, and then just fill out your information. Pretty easy. I was just showing you guys what's possible, and I know that sometimes that gets a little overwhelming. So if we go to Edit Post, and this is what SSO does. So it gives you a layout similar to Yoast. So this is Yoast right here. It looks like all these emojis are pulling question marks for some reason. And then this is SSO. So it looks almost identical to Yoast, except this is where you're just specifying the social data. So you would just go into here, say the article topic. You would say this is what you want to pull into the social share. This is the description for Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. This is the description for Twitter. And the reason why they're different is because Twitter has less of a description you can pull. And this is the schema description if you are using the schema markup for this, but we're not. We're using our own article markup. And then for select media, you would just choose, okay, I want to put an image in this post, and this is what that image is. I want it to be. You can change that. So that's the cool thing about OG data is you can change that at any time and then reshare with a new image or reshare with a new description. You can also embed a video. So if you want to share a video instead of an image, you just put that URL right here, and it'll share a video. And then you can do other things now too. It looks like you can do like maximum videos. You can do Pinterest rich pins now, which they didn't have before. So if you wanted to have a rich pin, what a rich pin is on Pinterest is it's pins that Pinterest can actually get data from and show them in a different way apparently. And then schema, we're not choosing this because we already have it activated on the other stuff. So that's the cool thing is you can actually change this here if you want to, and pull something else for schema. But this schema right here, when you set up blog posting, it'll just automatically pull your featured image as the image for the blog post. Cool. Yep. So that's pretty much it for those two. As I said before, we can become more specific with what we're doing. So we can go into here, start setting other stuff up. The other thing that I didn't tell you guys is that there's two different types of schema. There is microdata and JSON LD. Now, JSON LD is the stuff that you put into a header. So if we were to look at a notepad like this, and we were to look at JSON, we would see, okay, before the end head tag on the home page or whatever page, we have the code, right? So this is the code. So you don't see that. Only search engines see that. And actually Google picks up JSON LD better than they pick up microdata. Microdata is anything you're going to see after the head. So we got the end head, and then we got the start to the body tag. And then we got we'll just say the microdata is right here. And you're actually going to be able to read that, but at the same time it's marked up with schema, so Google can read that as well. So users and people can read that. That's the only difference between JSON and microdata. And this is also called, microdata is also called RFDA or something like that. I don't use this. I don't think it's necessary. The only time I use it on Squarespace websites when they don't let me add specific, they won't actually let you add like page by page schema. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll actually just use the microdata, and you can use a generator for this. Just Google it, and that's actually schema markup right here. The silly thing though is that you have to put certain things like US and like, it looks a little weird sometimes, and the formatting can be weird. The other thing is that now with Squarespace, they automatically pull JSON LD into every page for local business markup, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So even if you have a separate page for a different location, they're still pulling this local business markup for this business into those other pages.
Garbage.
And Squarespace is like a multi-million-dollar website, and like whoever set that up, like their SEO needs to be fired.
Yeah. So
if you guys are in somewhat related to Squarespace and you know somebody there, just send them this video. Steven says, BH versus White Hat, they did a JSON example to build trust with your site. Yeah, so this is kind of how you do it. So yeah, that's the basics pretty much on the home page. So this is what I mark up. So with JSON, I mark up the home page with either organization markup, as we saw in that one plugin, or local business markup. You want to mark it up with local if you're targeting only one location with your website, and it's on the home page, only on the home page. You use organization markup if you're an organization, and you use the sub pages with the local business markup. So that's pretty much it for the home page. I'll use the other generic ones that are like site-wide, like the website markup, the navigation markup, that kind of thing, which was all built into that app, as you saw. Creative work if you're using Genesis framework, or if you can find another plugin that'll pull that. And creative work is just like, it's just basically saying that this is, it's the most ridiculous thing ever, but it's just basically saying like this is the creative work of, you know, whatever business that wrote this. So similar to how you're saying that this website is a website. But Google apparently takes that. So the next thing we have is the about page. And you would just use about markup. I'm really sorry I can't find where I pulled this from. But like I said, it is on my site. I just have to troubleshoot that one for the contact. But the about markup I have works, and you can just pull that if you'd like. Let me just see if I'm actually, I think I'm about schema markup. Oops, sorry. About printer. Can you double up and use both schema and JSON? Well, JSON is a form of using schema. So if you wanted to use schema, JSON LD and microdata, you can. You just want to make sure it's not duplicates. So if we go to about, oops, sorry. If we go to edit page, I'm going to make sure that this was an OH script. And I'll just give you guys this markup. I'll just put it in the description so you guys can just use it. So yeah, here it is. So literally all you do is you just take this text out right here, and I'll just grab it for you. And you would just take whatever's in this description, or whatever's in your page as copy, and just plug this in here, and then just replace these right here with your names. So that's the about page. And you can use this on every website. Like this is like something that's site-wide. I mean, you can use it anywhere. So the next one would be the contact, which I have to troubleshoot that first, but once you go back to this page, hopefully, this will be fixed. Or if you want to troubleshoot it yourself, if I don't get it fixed by then, you just have to end that tag at the end of this. And then you can just pull it from here. I can just grab this and just put it in the description if you guys want to try to figure it out yourselves. There it is. Contact. And then the one thing I forgot to tell you guys is that you can mark up your service pages. So I mark up two pages. I mark up the reviews pages, and I mark up the service pages. So if we go Chase Reiner reviews like this, you can see I got something star rating right here. And what that's called is aggregate rating, or star rating if you want to call it star rating. The way you pull this is you use something called review markup, and Google actually pulls these reviews. Now you don't want to say you have 50 reviews and not show 50 reviews on your page, because you can actually get a manual penalty from that. So if we go in here, go like this, go into here, you can see it says product, and you can mark up the reviews individually. If you mark them all up individually, it won't show the review markup, which doesn't really make sense. But what I'm saying is that you can, so say you have like a bunch of text, like this is the first testimonial, this is the next testimonial, you can actually just mark up each one with microdata if you want. I don't do that. What I'll do is I'll mark up the whole page with product markup, and I'll just say what that product is. Now, I don't really go into the like the schema library and see what different products you can use, because it looks like you can pretty much just customize them. So I just put whatever it is. So if this is for SEO services, then I just put product, SEO services, and these are the reviews, right? So you can grab this and put this into yours as well if you would like. And then I just put a short description. You can get a lot longer with these descriptions. It's up to you. So go into here, reviews, boom. So you just put that on your reviews page, and then literally all you have to do is just go to your reviews. So I would just go to Chase Renner reviews, and you can pull multiple reviews from separate channels. I just pull it from one location because I'm lazy and I don't really care about showing that many reviews. I'll just go like this, and I'll just copy all of them, and I'll just put them on the page. That's pretty much it. If you want to take all the images out too, you can, but which is what I think I actually did. I think I used Notepad plus or something. I just automatically replaced all the images and just had all this stuff. So now all of these are on here with links back to the actual review. I don't think you actually have to do that. I think you just have to at least show that these are reviews. So all of these are on the page now, and then this page is marked up. Now what you can also do is you can get service pages going. So if I go to iPhone repair Santa Barbara, and that's one of those pages too. Like I think on every website you should have an about page, a contact page, a reviews page, even a location page if you can, terms of service. And Google even says that they look for these certain pages to determine the overall quality of a website. So if you go to services, you can put, so say we go to, this should actually be an overview. I don't know why that's not made. So say we do, say we have 10 reviews for Android repair. So we can pull those specific reviews, put them in here, say, okay, these are the reviews. One, it adds content for those local pages, helps them rank higher. And two, then you can mark up that page. So you would just take the same review markup, product, Android repair, or Android, you could even just put your keyword, whatever it is, Android phone repair. I wouldn't put the location. And then you would just put, these are the reviews that we've got for the Android repair. I also think you might even be able to just put the reviews in here. I don't know how that works. I just put this because that seems applicable. And then you would just put, okay, the rating value got 5 stars, and then the review count. I think you can even also put like 4.2 and stuff. I don't really know how that works. I just put like 4 or 5 or whatever it is. And then you would just put that in the page. So you can mark up all these other pages and then end up getting star ratings underneath all these different pages. And I'll give you an example of what this looks like. So if we go to Mover Santa Barbara, you can see one of our competitors is actually doing this here. They have star ratings. So this dramatically improves click-through rates. You can see that they're actually ranking really well organically because of this. Now the crazy thing is that you can only do this with subpages. You can't get aggregate rating on a homepage. So if you're trying to rank your homepage locally, well, you're out of luck because you can only get aggregate rating on the subpages. So these guys actually have an advantage with their click-through rates, which is apparently a ranking factor. So it gets kind of crazy when you think about this kind of stuff. But for instance, if you were looking for other things, I thought these were all ads for a second. I'm like, oh my god, the apocalypse just happened. Yeah. No, this isn't. These aren't. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you can go to, like, say you were looking for other things like Goleta movers or something. You could do all of your reviews for Goleta or something. I don't know. There's ways around this where you could probably, game the system, but ideally you just want to mark up your different services with the different reviews you have for those specific services. Adds a lot of value in my opinion. And then I'm in the middle of figuring out whether or not having these reviews and the services with the same reviews shows up as duplicate content. Maybe worst case scenario, you just point a canonical, or you'd point, I don't know what you would do. I think it might be okay. I don't know what you would do in that scenario. But anyways, so yeah, that's the product markup. So we go like this. So we go, whoops, go back up here. So we mark up the about page, the home page, the contact page, the reviews page if you want one, the service pages, or product pages if you're using products. We have a client that's e-commerce that you can. The cool thing about WooCommerce is they actually automatically mark up the products for you. So if we go to like WellSent and we look at their products, all of their products are already marked up for them. The only problem is there's certain things that they're not pulling, like the testimonials are not pulling review markups. So even though they have testimonials on these products, they're not getting aggregate rating or the extra signal sent. So that's one of the things that you have to diagnose and figure out. Okay, is there another plugin that integrates with WooCommerce? And apparently this one does, but we have to figure out how to work it. And that's like one of those really technical things where you spend a lot of time figuring something out for maybe not a very high return.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that if you get really good at stuff like that and you figure out a solution, then you could just start selling that as a product. You could literally go into something like Scrapebox, pull anything with the word WooCommerce on it on a website, and then just find find a bunch of emails or find a bunch of contact forms and just start emailing and saying, hey, you don't have product markup. But even then, people will have no idea what you're talking about. So so even if you get really advanced in SEO, you might not even be able to sell it because nobody even knows what you're talking about, even though you can provide something really specific that some people would pay $100,000 for that other people wouldn't even pay you for because they think you're from outer space. Yeah, Schema gets pretty gnarly. And honestly, Travis, this is like one of those things where it's like, this is like one of the most advanced parts of SEO next to like site architecture builds and all that stuff. So if you feel intimidated by this stuff, don't worry about it.
It's very intimidating.
Everybody on this, hey, how many of you guys who are watching this video right now have a hard time understanding Schema? Just let me know. Just put a 1 in the comments. And some of them might not even admit it. They might be like, "Oh, I know SEO," but most people have Schema, but most people have a really hard time understanding it. Even I still, like, when I looked at certain elements like the person markup, I'm like, I don't know where to put this. But there's like a huge library, like the Steven's trolling right now. But like if you actually look at the Schema library, so there's actually an entire library of Schema. So you go Schema library. You guys can see that there is literally so many things in here. Like we could go into like organization, and then this whole list. If you click on any of these, so look at this. These are all the examples. If you click into any of these, they'll go into another subcategory of this entire library, and then go like into other categories as well. How these can be related to each other. It gets insane.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Ideally, you don't want to spend all of your life figuring this out. That's why that plugin works really well. You know, this one, and that's why usually that's why the first tutorial I taught was just that, because once you get into more stuff like this is when you can get into the really advanced parts of Schema, and you can get like really, really, really hyper specific, and this will let you utilize the entire library. So I don't think we'll teach this right now since you guys know the basics now. So let's just finish it up. So we got the contact, we got the reviews, you got the service or product pages can use product markup. And the reason why service pages can use product markup is because service pages are technically your work's product. So even though it's a service, it's still sort of a product. That's why you can mark it with product markup. There is no service markup yet. So the next thing, and probably the last, thank God for you guys, is like blog posts or article markup, which you guys saw before. So you just mark up your blog pages. And if you get this basic stuff in place, that's pretty much right now, in my opinion, the maximum amount of Schema you need.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for a basic website.
Got it. Okay.
Also, if you can use the Genesis framework, like if you guys are doing a site redesign, super awesome because it pulls all this stuff for you. Like not all of this stuff, but certain things like the creative work and some other things like, I don't know, WP sidebar. But you might even be able to find that stuff anyways. It's just nice to show Google the different like things on the website. And if you have something similar to this at this point, and the hardest part is just getting it all set up, but once you get it set up a couple times, it's pretty much just the same thing on everybody. And then, like I said, you get more specific on certain things, like once you start working with like WooCommerce, or you're trying to mark up like really specific things. But a lot of this stuff's pretty similar, and a lot of this stuff adds like different benefits. Like the product markup can give you reviews, the review markup or the product markup with the review can give you the star rating. The article markup, their blog post markup, will give you a higher chance of getting ranked in the knowledge graph. So Geico versus Progressive, this is a great example. We fixed the Schema markup and did some internal linking for Insurantly, one of the companies we're working with, and now they're ranking in the knowledge panel. So
that's cool.
One of the big suggestions for this is to use the article or the blog post markup. Same thing with the news markup. It'll hopefully feature you in the news. Same thing with the video markup. Same with the images. If you mark those up with structured data, you're going to be more likely to show up in image search. all of it serves a purpose. It's just really, really specific. But if you use this across a bunch of different things, eventually what's going to end up happening is you're going to get, I look at schemas like this, like it's like a 2% boost here, a 1% boost here, a 3% boost here. But these things start adding up with all the other stuff you do. So you start adding the internal linking, you start adding like, you know, the on page, you start adding maybe the citations, and then all this stuff starts coming together. But the cool thing is that the people who are really good with schema, they get that extra little competitive edge, which ends up being in the long term, after like doing tons of stuff, really, really important and really, really valuable, that a lot of people don't take advantage of.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to use it, was because I was underutilizing it, and I think it's really powerful.
Yeah. So we got some comments. We're gonna end it pretty much here, guys. We got 20 people. If you guys haven't liked the video, please leave a like. We got Like to Trade said no, mostly already from earlier vids. Nice. Sean says depending on what you're trying to accomplish, it can get frustrating. Sahil's late. Craig says I have a hard time spelling SEO, let alone knowing how to implement the correct schema. Online Visibility says I have a schema understanding issue. So you can see all these guys. It's all similar.
It's a challenge.
And the crazy thing is there's not a lot of documentation out there around it. Like you kind of have to do a lot of fishing.
That's in layman's terms.
Yeah, and it's all weird. But like I said, if you can, I'm not the kind of person who's like you should do everything in regards to schema and spend all your time. If you want to start being really gnarly at schema and you want to start selling that to like businesses who only know a little bit about it, that's something you can actually hyper specialize in and start selling it for like tons of money. But you're going to be spending a lot of time just reading books about different types of structured data.
Realize that it's an easy way, if you took the time to dive into it and really knew it well, that you could really differentiate yourself from other SEOs because of that, you know? So,
and that's one of the things that I spent a lot of time actually doing, is me going in and going through the library and going through like the schema app right here and looking at what are, the different things that you can actually be really specific about. But like I'm saying, from doing all this stuff, if you get these basics in place where it's similar to this and you just get the basics, it's going to be 100 times better than most people.
I think I was over analyzing this. I think I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. What do I add? I'm gonna fucking add them all. And I was like, dude, that's a nightmare. And I think that's how I was looking at this. So that's why. Well, and I'm glad you showed me this, because it makes me feel more comfortable.
And the lucky thing for us is that we have a content management system that pretty much does everything for us with plugins already built like this. Yeah. So it's automatically marking up images. It's automatically marking up like certain elements.
Yeah.
So a lot of this really hard, difficult work like has already been done for us. It's literally at this point pretty much just plug and play. And then once you do it the first time, it's pretty much just streamlined across different, the different sites.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We will be hopefully doing another video in the near future. I actually have to keep doing the other part of the paid course. So if you guys are in the VIP Facebook group, I will be seeing you guys soon. And until I see everybody else, happy SEOing.